Hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, first and foremost, I want to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. He double honors to your apostles, elders at Great Millstone, salutations to your Akim. That's out there doing the work in truth and in sincerity. This is Luke 19:41. It says, when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it, saying, if thou hadst known, even thou, at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace, but now they are hid from thine eyes. For the days shall come upon thee that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. All right. And for the most part, this is the same sentiment that we carry. This truth is our peace. And of course, you Israelites, you so-called negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you continue to disregard, even in the times that we live in, even people knowing that this is the end time, they're going to continue in their folly. And we see that, especially Jake, man, with all the time that they have on their hands, they're in their houses, continue to doing the same old trends, the same old folly, and you know, and they continue in their mess, man, and it's obvious that they don't see the reproof of the Lord with everything shutting down, because everything is of the Lord, man. You know, and how do we know everything is of the Lord, man? All right, let's go to Amos really quick. All right, because the times that we live in is pestilence that's pretty much taking over. Esau pretty much closing everything down, shutting everything down, about the forced vaccinations on these people. It's all of the Lord, man. All right. Amos 3:6, shall the trumpet be blown in the city, and the people be not afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord Yahweh hath not done it? All right. So it's the Most High that's doing this. All right. It's the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that is bringing the shutdown, that is bringing the pestilence. How do we know? When we go into these scriptures, man. All right. Because the times that we live in aren't the times of follying. It's not the time of mirthing. It's not the time of having fun. It's the time of being repenting, man. All right. Because there's evil in the earth that is going to be wiped away. All right. Which people disregard. OK, and the Lord is not holding his tongue concerning these things anymore. He's just coming down with his wrath soon. All right. That's what people are going to get. Now they're getting the tender mercies of the God, of the Most High through his prophets, us going out there, speaking and bringing this word. And that's why Yahweh Shai even said that, man, when he was coming down, I think from the mount, he was coming down and he looked over Jerusalem and he wept, because they didn't understand that this is, his presence was, pretty much their redemption. All right. And they completely ignored it. All right. Just like they completely ignore the prophets, and they continue to scoff and scorn. 2nd Ezra 16:17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, and the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these things come? When these evils come? All right. And so this is Ezra forecasting what we are actually beginning to see in the earth. We are beginning to see all these things manifest and take place, because these were the things that were said aforetime. All right. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. All right. And when you go into the word amendment, let's go into the etymon really quick. OK, because amendment literally means, I think it means correction. All right. The scourges sent for amendment, betterment, improvement. All right. I seen a thing on this guy speaking on how the earth mimics our anatomy, and how the earth pretty much fights off, like we fight off a virus, our immune system fights off a virus, so does the earth. And with all the wickedness that's happening in the earth, pollution, fossil fuels being used up, they're digging into the earth, destroying the seas and the oceanic life. The earth acts just like the human anatomy. It acts just like the human immune system. So the earth has an immune system too. All right. And it mimics our cells and certain things. He was explaining how roots look like our cells, some to that extent, and how just basically how, the earth mimics, our makeup. All right. So these amendments, these scourges that's sent for amendments are sent for what? The betterment of this place, improvement, correction. It says correction, 1300s of persons, correction, reformation. All right. And so, because this is the Apocrypha, you can't really look it up. You got to look up the words. All right. So I'll just go back. Salaki, 2nd Ezra 16 and 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. All right. So these things are sent for correction, for change. All right. Because the Lord is fed up. All right. It says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. All right. And see, in the scriptures tell you flat out, they're not going to turn from their wickedness. They're going to continue to do evil. They're going to continue to spitefully, misuse the grace that's given, but it's only to their own detriment. All right. This is Proverbs 1 and 20. Let me see if I can find this really quick, Salakia. Because the scriptures talk about, shall we then make mirth? All right. Here we go. Yeah. Because destruction is coming. All right. And it's coming as birth pains. One event is going to, exceed another, It's going to gradually get worse and worse and worse and worse till, Yahweh Shai comes, and that's why he made the statement that he made, it says in Luke 12 and 49, he said, I am come to send fire. And what will I if it already be kindled, So there's, things are gradually going to get worse until he comes, and then it's not even going to be over that yet, because he has to, in righteousness doth he judge and make war. So he's coming to make war. All right. So Proverbs 1 and 20 says, what wisdom crieth without? She uttered her voice in the streets. She cried in the chief place of concourse. In the openings of the gates in the city, she uttered her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning. All right. And the fools hate knowledge. All right. And this is the condition of our people. This is their vibration. They're simple. They're naive. All right. They're scorners. They're laughing at the truth. They're laughing at the prophets. And but believe me, you if you think that they're not, they are. These people are literally laughing. All right. It says delight in it, and they delight in their scorning. They delight in laughing at that hand being extended to them to pull them out of the fire. These people are really maniacs, man. All right. It says, and fools hate knowledge. All right. Turn you at my reproof. What is the reproof? We see the reproof of the Lord. When destruction comes, that's the reproof of the Lord. you know, and it's harsher when the Lord talks to you than when a man talks to you, you know. All right. So it says, turn you at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. All right, because right, and that's what the Lord is doing through his prophets, through his men. Because I have called and ye refuse, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. All right. And I said it before time, but that's the spirit. Because the Lord is stretching out his hand and nobody's regarding. They continue to laugh. They continue to make fun of. They continue to be naive and stupid and willfully ignorant, you know. But ye have set at naught all my counsel. Those are the prophets, those are the men. All right. And the scriptures talk about, I will give you pastors according to mine heart. All right. Which shall feed you. All right. Isaiah 30. I mean, what? 30 and 20. You know, though he give you the bread of the water of affliction and the bread of adversity, some to that extent. Yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore. But you shall hear a word behind thee saying, you know, this is the way, roughly paraphrasing. All right. And I should get those precepts. But Salakia, okay? Because it says, turn you at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. All right. And the Lord speaks through the men. He speaks through his men. All right. Because I have called and ye refuse. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at all my Salaki, but ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. All right. And that's what the prophets are gonna do. All right. That's what the prophets are gonna do. All right. It says they would none of my counsel, they despise all my reproof. All right. And really, you know, it starts with the prophets, but then it's gonna escalate into full-blown judgment. It's gonna escalate into full-blown pestilence. It's gonna escalate into full-blown troops at your doorstep. All right, because the Lord uses them. All right, He uses the wicked. All right, He'll use the wicked, and in the same token, in the same breath, He'll punish the wicked. All right. Okay, so that's a, you know, that's something to consider too. You know, it says, therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. All right. And so people are pretty much signed on when they believe in this system, because that's the main thing. You know, people believe in this way of living, this westernized way of living. And so what this westernized way of has created is pretty much death. All right. It everything, all the society norms, the social norms of this place are pretty much you know, harmful to the way of living. All right. It's this word that is constructed in such a way that gives us life abundant. These words, these laws, these rules, these regulations. You know, these people live by the Constitution, and they really don't even live by the Constitution. Majority of these people don't even know the Constitution. They don't even know the Bill of Rights. You know, but you know the point is, you know, therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. All right. All right. So it says, for the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil. All right. And that's what's promised. We're promised that we're going to be saved from the fear of evil when we trust in the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and not with our own understanding, but with what He has said, with what He has prescribed. All right. Okay. So this is what's coming to this place. Ultimately, this is what's coming. And Salakia, I had to cut the lesson short. As you can see, you can hear in the background. But Ezekiel 21:7, it says, and it shall be when they say unto thee, wherefore sighest thou? That thou shalt answer for the tidings, because it cometh. All right. And that's what it is, man. We sigh because of the tidings in which we hear. So what should we be docile? Should we be still partying? Well, it's going to answer that. Salakia. It says, and every heart shall melt, and all hands shall be feeble, and every spirit shall faint, and all knees shall be weak as water. Behold, it cometh, and shall be brought to pass, said the Lord Yahweh, power. Again, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy, say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. That means basically it's being made ready. All right. It's being made ready. And we went into this the other day. You know, it's being made perfect. The instruments, these instruments are being made perfect. Ultimately, the thermonuclear missiles. All right. And that's what's going to corrode. Pretty much take the evil out of this place. It's going to cleanse this earth from evil. All right. Salaki. So it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. All right. And so that's what this place is coming, man. Should we should we make mirth? Should we continue to be docile? Should we continue to be ignorant, or should we be penitent? Should we be in a place of mourning? Because that's what it is right now. The summer's coming up, and I hope to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Esau takes these niggas summers away from them. I hope, I pray that this is over with. That is over with, because that means oppression is over with. That means the rule of the wicked is over with when they get to forward their agenda, this new world order. I hope and pray that they forward it. Will the Lord allows them to do it within the time that He's allotted. Of course, they're going to do it, but when they do it, the Lord is going to overthrow them. All right, according to Job, I think it's 5:12. You know, hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Just wanted to, through the Spirit, there's something that I actually was talking to a brother about. How Jake is continuing the mirthing, continuing to ignore the prophets and laugh and scorn at the truth, at the Lord's mercy. And we spoke about it at camp, but and this is what it is, man. But the Lord is going to destroy these people. Ultimately, but the most fearful thing that you could possibly think of is the thermonuclear destruction. But before then, Esau is going to cast a trench about you, and he's going to lay you even with the earth, man. He's going to slaughter you, Jakes, man. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Just wanted to, go ahead and do that through the Spirit. But give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakakodash. And double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Salutations to Yakin that's out there doing the work of truth and sincerity. Shalom.